Hello everyone, my name is Fikri Zulfikar and I'm from Film Study Class A, and I'm gonna explain my film review about the act of killing. Killing is not necessarily a cold business, and killers are not necessarily cold-blooded. The act of killing introduced us to several Indonesian mass murderers who could be a movie star. They jumped at the chance offered by this documentary maker Joshua Oppenheimer to make their own movie, a chronicle of their years carrying out an anti-communist purge that claimed over a million lives in 1965 to 1966. When the military recruited them as a muscle, they became the most feared and sadistic. The man who made their own movie about the massacre is called Anwar Kungu. Still fit in his 60s, Kungu used the film to confront facts long denied publicly and long sublimated personally. He and his friend believe that no court from local authority to the International Criminal Court can prosecute them for their crime 50 years after the facts. This gives them the confidence to deliver unguarded performance for their movie and offer astonishingly candid testimony for Oppenheimer. Yet almost every night Kongo says some of the hundreds of victims he killed with his own hand visit him in his dream. It appears that long-standing corruption has solidified into a core Indonesian principle, like democracy or capitalism. We see politicians make speech proudly declaring that they are gangster, careful to remind the crowd that the term gangster in their society only means a free man. A leading newspaper publisher bragged about how he manufactured evidence against suspected communists, providing long lists for the death squad. This is the smilest atrocity documentary I've ever seen. Between camera setup on the historical film, Kongo Neighbor Suryono shared a story about watching the death squad abduct his communist stepfather. Quick to reassure the gangster that I'm not criticizing what we are doing. He described finding his stepfather's body under an oil barrel the next day. At 12 years of age, he had to help bury his stepdad in a roadside ditch. Moment after his recollection, Oppenheimer kept the documentary camera focused on Suryono, whose cavalier facade is crumbling by the second. He seemed to implode as a Kongo friend Adil Zulkardi, flinty veteran executioner who remind me of Ray Winston. Bro beats the other about sugarcoating their crime. Everything Anwar and I have always said is false. It's not the communists who were cruel. I'm absolutely aware that we were cruel, said Adi Zulkardi. The historical film within a film doesn't seem to have a lavish budget, but it does appear lovingly crafted by a discerning, resourceful crew. The reenactment strive for brutal accuracy, while few fantasy sequences give the impression of a comical telenovela directed by John Water. Kongo's friend, the portly, vicious but hilarious paramilitary leader Herman Koto, even appears in Outrageous Beauty Queen Drag and Indonesian Divine. There never been a shortage of dark crime documentary that catalogs life cruelty, horror, and banality of evil. Thanks to the documentary genre, I have watched hundreds of hours of war crime, genocide, and miscarriage of justice carried out by unremarkable men with dimly lit soul. The act of killing bids to outdo them all. I'm not sure even the film powerhouse executive producer Werner Herzog and Errol Morris have ever presented cognitive havoc so densely yet elegantly packed into one documentary. The visual and aura rhythm of this one feel as if Oppenheimer is slowly, carefully climbing a mountain of lament and shame, each footfall made with absolute certainty that they're solid. When we arrive at the top, the view is majestic in its sadness. From this vantage point, the last half of hour of the act of killing survey a definitely art-directed stretch of hell. It looked familiar, a place of law and order and malls and McDonald. Doubting grandfatherhood has brought out to the gentleness in Kongo, whose beautiful smile and gentle laugh line make him resemble Nelson Mandela. Watching his finished film with his grandson, he began to understand something essential about himself and his victim. Oppenheimer seized the moment, posing a question that knocked the wind right out of him. This masterpiece about propaganda, cinema, and vanity as instrument of power and terror ends on an excruciatingly sustained riotous money shot, a monster who could have been a good man suffocated on the third.